Hello and welcome to my little or somewhat medium tutorial on how to get your USB ready to play on a CDJ. The first question we need to ask is, how do we get music? Or where do we get music from? We need the digital files, the audio files, the MP3, WAV. As an example, they need to be put on a USB stick through Rekordbox. Now the first option is the one I wouldn't really recommend. However, it is an idea and an option to start downloading music for free, and I would only recommend this option to practice playing songs. This may be in your bedroom, it may be in a studio. I wouldn't use this option to play this music in front of a crowd on a big sound system because the quality will hinder. And technically it's not legal. You are going to be taking music from YouTube and or Spotify from a third-party website. The other con to this method is some of these websites that will take the music from YouTube are riddled with ads and pop-ups as well, which is our least favorite thing to see. Now let's say you've got a track in mind, you love it, you want to download it, you want to put it on your USB stick and play it on a CDJ. You would find that song on YouTube, just like I've done here, and it's my track as well. Hopefully this video won't be taken down. Copy that URL and you'll jump back to Google. I've done a mere search, YouTube to MP3, and you can see here there are tons of websites that will convert that URL for that song to an MP3 file that you can download. However, like I said, just have a little common sense on all the pop-ups that come up and all of the adverts that you may be presented with. Let's have a look at this one here, top one. What you would do is paste link here. As such, you would click start. This is as far as I'm going to go with this one because I don't want any adverts to pop up in my face. Like I say, least favorite option. So what's the next option? And they all come with pros and cons. So next up is using websites like this one, Beatport or BeatSource. You can download music legally. You're buying it as well, so you're paying for each track or each album or each release. The best thing with this method is the audio quality will be at its highest as well for MP3s and WAVs, depending on what you download. The downside to this alternative is, if we see here down at the bottom, one track is £1.30. That's for an MP3 file, let alone a WAV, which may be £1.50 per track. So that's going to add up and accumulate very, very quickly. However, it's going to be high quality music. So you've got to choose, what do you want? Quality music at a price or low quality music for free that you're not really going to play in front of a crowd. However, you could use that to practice with at home. Moving on, we have our next website and one of my favorites is Bandcamp. This is another website which is a great place to buy music, and the vast majority of that money will go to the artist as opposed to Beatport. This service will give you high quality audio depending on the audio quality that was uploaded by the artist, and you can actually get some bargains as well. So as opposed to £1.30 per track, this was the first release that popped up when I clicked electronic music, which is on this tab here. And as you can see, for 22 tracks, they're asking for £5. So this might take a little bit of digging through this website, maybe finding an artist that you really like and committing and paying them for that music. But in turn, if you were to buy an album of music, you get so much more for your money. The next option is the infamous SoundCloud. Now this has been around for years and it's more for the underground DJs and producers. You can find songs on SoundCloud to download for free and legally as well. This is probably one of my preferred options. However, the downside to this is it takes a bit longer to find songs that have been released to download. Now, I merely typed in house music here, and what you would do is find a track that you like. Now, this is the tricky part. If you find a track you like, it may not be available for download. Let's say this track, I want to download that for DJing. I'll click these three little dots. There is no download link here. Let's keep searching. Next, no. Let's go. Next, no. One more, no. Then what you want to do is click tracks you want to listen to, and then use commercially. This will now entitle you, and it will filter, for the most part, a way to download. Here we go. Look, I've got a little basket. If you were to click that and follow them, you would download the track. If I were to scroll down here, we can now see these little basket icons to download that track. But in turn, you would have to either buy or follow that artist. It's great. Music is for free, although you will have to follow them on some form of social media. Sometimes you have to buy it, but it is just a bit lengthy. Now, my last option is a DJ pool. If you were to Google this, you will find multiple companies that will ask for a monthly subscription. And in those subscriptions, there are different tiers. For the most part, the more you pay, or if you were to pay for the top tier subscription, you can get unlimited music. If you were to pay for the second tier, as an example, you would be restricted to, let's say, 200 tracks. And then maybe the bottom tier, 100 tracks. As an example, if I'm just scrolling through here, we have DJ City, DJ Pool Records, BPM Music, Digital DJ Tips, which is not a record pool, Digital DJ Pool, and another one to mention is Zip DJ. There it is, which I've used before. Now, the downside to this method is it's expensive. You think, God, why am I paying £40 for 1 month? However, you're going to be able to download maybe 100 to 200 tracks. Maybe more, depending on the subscription tier. Some of these DJ pools will have a promotion now and again, of which I've subscribed to one, which is DJ City. And for £10, you get 1 month's access, and you can download as many tracks as you want. So far, I'm yet to see when they stop me. So this is an example of one DJ pool. We can go by record pool, we can go to new releases, we can then filter our new release. Let's go to dance, because I'm a massive house head. The genres, they are quite subjective. If I want house or tech house, it would still say dance, but you could type in an artist that you really like. Let's go Bonobo. I'm surprised I spelt it correctly. You can preview it. Which is always nice before you download. Then in a DJ pool, you'll come over and get song. Which version do I want? I want the main version. I want to download that straight away. So once you've downloaded your music, your digital audio files that you're ready to DJ, they need to go through Rekordbox. They must go through Rekordbox. You can technically put your MP3 files on a USB and load them on a CDJ. However, there are a lot of downsides. It's going to take a long time for them to load on a CDJ. We can't analyze that music. We cannot quickly see the BPM or the key signature, and we can't really preload hot cues and all of those technical aspects. So I would absolutely recommend downloading Rekordbox as a piece of software, which is for free. Do not pay for it. I've never paid for it myself, and I only use it to export music for a CDJ. So let's jump in. We will navigate to Rekordbox, which when you download, you will have to create an account, like with everything in this day and age. It's going to look like this. It's a bit of a minefield, and it looks a little bit overwhelming. So the first step, in the top left-hand corner, we're going to click this little menu here. And where it says performance, we're going to click export. This is a user interface to process your music ready for CDJ playback. It's just a little bit more refined and a little bit neater. It's got rid of all of the effects functions and all of the DJ playback features that we don't need. We're just preparing our music right now. So on the left hand side, all of these little menus, and the ones that we want to concentrate on today are the second one here, playlists. When you click on playlists, like this, we can see this menu here called playlists. Funny that. And when we open up by clicking this little arrow, these are all the playlists that I have in Rekordbox so far. And we can add and create new playlists here. And that's what we're going to do. That's your first step. 2 options. On the playlists little menu bar here, I'm going to right click and you can click create new playlist. Or you can click this plus icon and it will do exactly the same thing. The very important thing is you've got to give it a name. So today I'm going to call it House in the House. Don't know what it means, but it's going to give me a vibe and it's going to give me a feeling. So whenever I see that playlist on a CDJ, I know what's going to be in it. All we have to do is drag and drop the music that we've downloaded from our preferred method straight in to this black rectangle right here. So if I were to navigate to my download, there we are, the Bonobo track that I've just downloaded. Simple as click and drag, let go, and it's analyzing. We could see that little percentage just creeping up almost to 100%. What Rekordbox is doing is analyzing the music. It's seen the audio and it's applying a beat grid over the top, and that's what we use to visually beat match to as well. So now we can click and drag this and pop it up into our player here. We can scrub through like this. I'm clicking and dragging right now. If I were to click play, we can preview the track. Bonus tip is making sure your beat grid is correctly positioned. We want to make sure that these little red arrows here right at the top and right at the bottom are truly on the first beat of the bar, and we can feel it and actually we can listen to it. My little tip is to jump just before the drop, and we can tell where the drop is because we can see there where it's pink, where it's really red, that's where the bass is. That's where the drop, or in traditional terms the chorus, is. Well, that's certainly going to be the first beat of the bar, so that's where these red dots are. If these red dots are not on there, we can change them and move them there correctly, which I'm not going to go into today, but we just want to make sure that that is correct. Lovely. Hopefully YouTube does not rip this video for plagiarism because I've already played some commercially released music. Now, the final step is getting your USB, which by default, if you're to buy them from a store, they will be formatted correctly to FAT32. Let's just call it a language that the CDJ and the USB can talk to one another. Plug in your USB. Now Rekordbox might give up a little menu saying that a new USB has been detected. Here we go, it's saying my settings file created by DJ equipment has been found. Cool, just say yes. If it's a new USB, say yes the whole way. This is my new playlist, House in the House. I want to put that on my USB ready for CDJ playback. Let's right click on this playlist, export playlist, and I've already renamed my USB. There we go, Fred's USB. I'm going to click that once and we can see a percentage bar just at the bottom here. It's going to start going and exporting that track as a playlist. Once that percentage bar is gone, we can confidently know the playlist has been exported. Once that USB has stopped exporting because the percentage bar is gone, we are safe to eject our USB. Now, on the left hand side here, we've got a little USB icon. Click this, there's my USB, there's an eject button. Click that once, wait for it to disappear, and now I can take out my USB and I'm ready to play on a CDJ.